I got sincere. Somebody. I've actually been experimenting for a minute. I don't know what's going on tonight, but YouTube not showing us a whole lot of love. But the what did I miss, crew? Looks like we might have a lot of people in that today.
Now what?
What's the deal, though? Almighty District 120 music. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to hit the like button and see if some more people come in after a minute. But the last one, intentions versus results. The battery just cut off on me. Even though if you watch the video, you know that you saw that I plugged it in. I don't know exactly what happened, but we got cut off. I was gonna come back, but the last thing I said before my screen cut off, I just thought that was a gangster spot to stop right there. I thought that was just leave it right there. I can't recall exactly what I said, but I know what I meant. Divine King, what's going on? Is everybody's at work tonight or something? Is that the deal? We are very quiet out there. Right. District 120 is on the clock. All right, I got Sincere's on the road. All right, so You see why everybody's so quiet? Divine King is at football practice. You know, that's one of the things I gotta you know, AIG boxing, we always meant for it to expand out, but kind of by popular demand, we gotta start getting the other sports involved. A lot of the kids in the boxing program, they want to play basketball. So we gotta see what's going on with that. It don't seem like a Monday for you on that side. What does it seem like? Because I tell you, I've kind of lost track of most other measurements of time than supreme mathematics. Like the only other measurement of time I could really think about is like people's born days. But generally speaking, like say if it's a holiday or a particular day of the week or just, you know, a day of the month that, you know, you just give me a date. Feels like a Thursday. Sometimes, yeah, you know, you might get that effect right there. Who else we got? We got a few more people coming. Yeah, but they silent. You know, we get a few more people in, we get back to the business. You know, intentions versus results. You know, the idea versus what you actually produce. And we're not even going down the road of really, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, which is science. You know, I'm just saying that's not really my point right now. I'm just saying, do you actually use the machine? You see, a lot of people have an idea, but then that's it. Nobody even knew you had that idea. If you ever had that happen to you where somebody tell you, like, yo, you see this thing right here? Yeah, I had the idea for that. I had the idea for that like 2 years ago, but I didn't do that. But then somebody else executed. Or sometimes the person might be you, that you see somebody doing something and you like, yo, I had that idea. But you didn't do nothing. See, knowledge is not just gonna go to born religiously. Some ideas get to the point of talking where you had an idea and you told some people, right? But you didn't really have a clear vision in your own mind of what it was going to look like. Not just what it's going to look like you know, achieving what it is you want to achieve, producing what it is you want to produce. But what does it look like, the steps and stages that it takes for you to do that? See, well, not every kid, but a large percentage of young boys have some kind of idea that they're gonna they're gonna play they're gonna play some kind of professional sports. But see, it's a lot of steps and stages to that. And can you live those stages out? Can you live that out? Can you live that way that it takes to accomplish what it is that you say? Right? Meaning, you know, can you have the discipline, right, to do all the things you need to do and stay away from all the things you need to stay away from in order to make that idea go to boom? Do you have the power to do it? Is this idea that you have, is this inside your power? See, because that's what I find a lot of times. That's why a lot of times I don't like talking about it, because you're religious, and like somebody come up to me, like, you'd be like, yo, look, God, all I need you to do is lift up that building over there. I think I can get some gold. Do you at least have a magic crowbar or something? Do you at least have a magic crowbar? Like, why can't you lift the building up? And then when you get the gold, then come see me. See, you trying to do something that's not within your power. And then you try to enlist other people into it in order to help you make knowledge go to born. See, like I said, if you don't have your own determined idea, right, there's people out there that need help with their determined idea. And if you're weak enough, they'll enlist you into their plans. Can you rise above the equality? Can you get, like, okay, all these things is the case, but now all these obstacles that's in the way, mentally and physically, can you really conquer all that and say you're going to make knowledge go to born? See, it's not like a wishing well. See, some of these things you hear people say, right? Like, you hear people say, you ever heard somebody say, listen, in order to accomplish something, all we got to do is come together. How many people heard that one before? Bishop 120 said, I came upon that in a book, where the idea that you have in mind gets sent up and then comes back down. If you don't catch it, you will see someone else doing what you were having in mind to do. It happens. But has anyone heard that one? I know y'all busy right now. Everybody's at work. But this, uh, if we want to accomplish something, all we got to do is come together. But see, people could come together and fight and kill one another. See, that's why you actually have to pay attention to what you mean when you say, right, that, knowledge goes born. See, this is the difference between intentions and results. District 120 said, I have heard it too many times, and I've also used the same. That's what I'm saying. See, a lot of these things, that's why I said, see, we don't want to reach the religious phase where we're relying on all things that people say that's not here right now to say them. Or we're relying on the fact that some people existed in their own time, whether they were successful or unsuccessful, right? Some people existed in their own time. We just had to show and prove. To show and prove that Allah exists. You see, rocks exist. Tree stumps exist. Acorns exist. See, it takes God to build to be born. Everything else, you're still being religious. See, you missing the whole thing of the whole thing, man. Well, look, even if you take it back to Elijah, now look, our Father is Allah. So we know what the science with that is, right? We know that he learned the science from Elijah and he looked inside himself for Allah, right? Now, probably, let's not go that far, but let's just say that kind of in another direction, you got War of Deen. Where did he go looking for Allah? Does does anybody realize the significance of that? Of both of them, after going through Elijah's teachings, the difference Did he go into the same study? Warren Dean threw away the lessons and turned the NOI into Sunni Muslims. Divine King said he went to the Arabs. The bar, what's the deal? This is one turn up. That's what I'm saying. We're not going into what his duty is to do, or he made his decision. But I'm just saying, in terms of who, do you realize what you're saying, right? When we say who is causing all this to happen? See, it's not just, that's what I'm saying. We could get caught up in the religiousness of speaking, right? And you could say you make rain, hail, snow, and earthquake, right? But where's the drops of water at? See, where's there a change based on what you manifested? Because see, at the end of the day, right, we say that wisdom is wise words and wise actions, wise ways and actions, right? So if all you did was talk, your wisdom wasn't complete. See, we see you there, but you ain't make nothing born. And see, that's the difference between, not even it, for me to say intentions is giving a little extra credit. See, is really the difference between wishful thinking. You know, wishful. You're talking about your wishes, but you could have threw a penny in the well and it's the same thing. You could have broke a chicken bone and it's the same thing. You could have blew whatever you call them white things. You could blow that. You could blow out the birthday candles. You see, to get from there to there, you gotta walk every step of the way. See, this is why you get the question, you know, uh, and this is in everybody's perception, whatever it is that you think should be the case, right? People come around, they say, well, why has this advance not been made yet? Why has that advancement not been made yet? It's because you haven't stepped up and done it. It's because you still have the Christian concept that you can go and live your life and not worry about it because Armageddon is going to happen. And as long as, when you're making a left, right turn or whatever, you let old ladies cross the street. As long as you go to PTA meetings, as long as people get on social media and post state mathematics, you think the world's going to get saved like that? Our born power of love. See, that's the difference. That if you really just came to hang out with us, if you really just came because you wanted to get the background skinny on the hip hop industry, you wanted to, you know what I'm saying, maybe meet RZA or something, if that's what you're doing here, or if you're here for salvation, if you think that when you walk past this door here, we don't have pearly gates. We got black doors. So you think when you walk through the onyx gates, when you walk here through the onyx gates, that all your problems is going to be solved? Nah, it's not. See, because now you come to, we have now, look here. How about this one? How about this one? See, Allah has a lot of high expectations of us. He had big intentions for every one of us. Most of the people here that come on this channel, we do have some older brothers. Shout out to y'all, peace. But y'all already know this right here, what I'm saying. See, we got to produce the results. Because he didn't just have the intention, he didn't just sit back. Like, see, that's what a lot of people do. Man, I wish the kids in this neighborhood would stop doing this, man. Man, I wish kids would pay more attention to that, man. Yo, man, why these kids keep listening to that? Nah, See, he got out there and beat the pavement. See, he hit it so hard. Look, man, you know, don't take this the wrong way, but look, man, he hit it so hard, they had to shoot him. See, that's not somebody who just sat in the corner and just thought about how it might be better for the kids one day. See, that's somebody who got out there and you could see the earthquake. You could see the just like they go somewhere and they be like, see, it was an earthquake over here. We can tell how this land right there is like that. Yeah, that's supposed to be together. See, all of us exist, right? Because of the earthquakes where he caused. Now, there's some things that, look, he intended for us to rise to the top. He intended us for us to see the power within ourselves that we have, right? Arm, leg, arm, supreme head. That's power, right? And to use it to be the best we could be. And in some things, we produce results. See, like I said, you got, the hip hop world, a lot of things, but see, there's a lot of things that, the course of survival may have come to that, but that's not the intentions. That's, a lot in intent for us to still be doing the things that the devil do. He didn't expect us to be, uh, telling lies, stealing, trying to master the original man, you know, going to the penitentiary, being on drugs. This is not what Allah intended for us. But see, he can only take you up to 6, man. God came to teach us. Now we must build. Or you just singing it like, I don't know whoever's the new people out now. I'm not hip. I'm not hip no more. But whoever take your pick, you just singing it like that. You ain't listening. You ain't paying attention. See, God came to teach us. Now we got to produce the results. Build more. 007 to rise above like the sun. So I just gotta ask you, don't take this the wrong way. Some names is just but so are you from Baltimore? Sky Chaser Beats. You're not from Baltimore. I take it when people see you, then you're very prolific in manifesting knowledge and wisdom. Because I'm just, look, some people's names, man. Like I met a brother at the rally. His name was Bill Moore, meaning to add on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You must add on, for your name to be Bill. But like I was saying, I met a brother at the rally. His name was Royal Highness. I mean, listen, you cannot be. I mean, think about it. You know, it's still one of the first non-born still with us on this plane right here. Is he supposed to call you Royal Highness? Is, is, hey, come on, man, you gotta have a nickname or something. Man. Come on, that's usually what we call you. Sky Chaser Beats is my producer name, but I'm a lot see truth. I'm from Connecticut, but I rest in Tallahassee. My educator is Inf Mega. Peace to my big brother Darkim. I can't wait to meet in person. A lot see truth, all right? Peace, back, man. Tallahassee. CERN Love. Haven't seen CERN Love in a minute. But yeah, Sky Chaser Beats, welcome to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so we gotta start getting you know your lessons. You know, reaching that age now. Born day, I think, is next week or something. Yeah, yeah. So everybody be steady. Jason Rosario TV. I know you got some insights for us. What's going on out there in the real world? I'm in my own world. I'm in my own world, but what's going on out there in the real world? Jason Rosario TV is always on. He got his finger on the beat. You got your 1 in 36 2 months ago. So you know you're 1 in 10. Student enrollment, mathematics, alphabet is on cap. That's good. Speaking of that, you brought up something. I've been seeing this. I don't know. We didn't get too far into that, but you know, I see shit sometimes. I'll be like, God damn it, Born Power said I just not too long capped my 1 in 10. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Get the lessons out the way. See, listen, life only becomes less less complicated, less complex. You have less stuff to do when you die. Like it just gets more and more hectic and shit. So like whatever is this mystery time that you waiting on, where you like, yo, I'm just gonna finish this and then I'm gonna study my lessons. Yeah, that ain't happening. Listen, that's gonna happen the same time you show up at the pearly gates and somebody let you in. That's about it, bro. That ain't happening. See, all of that is a particular science. You know, all of that is the science that this is why we deal with mathematics every day, man. Because without that, you could just slip off, man, and become you just a particle out there in the universe, like the guy said, without without no purpose and direction. You start to get caught up in other people's ideas. See, a lot of people don't never like you got people that officially fall victim. But a lot of people never officially fall victim. They just slowly drift away. See, they start doing something where they have to be the powers. So you can't paperclip your way through. See, like I said, like in high school, you could paperclip your way through just out of the knowledge that, look, when you get to the front of the school, the guys is going to be there. So, it would behoove you to know your lessons when you get over there. But see, what happens when the summertime comes? See, now we'll know if it's really in you, you understand what I mean? If the magnetic is an element of your existence, right? Or if the magnetic is what drew you up. See, we'll know if there was magnetic with us because we one and the same, or whether there was magnetic with you because you unlike. See, we'll know if you was around us because of Allah's law or because of Yaqub's law. That's why you gotta study your lessons, man. See, that's why your culture, your way of life, the things that you're doing every day, you know what I'm saying? If you know you walking in whatever world, and it's not this world, man, where our ideas. See, you ain't got to come out. See, if you don't love yourself and your principles and your characters, what you stand for, you will go through that hell. You won't even come out wrong. You won't come out. You stay right there. See, you simply look, you know what it is? I tell you another thing too. When you study your lessons, you make my job easier. It's infinitely easier. See, if you come to me, you don't want to study your lessons, but you asking me, well, what books can I read? Bro, I got no idea what book you can read that's going to be equal to the Book of Life. I haven't read that book. You know, I got the same answer to this question every time. Yo, what book should I read? Study your lessons and then read all of them. Every single one. If you can speak that language and that title or that topic or whatever have magnetic for you, read that book. Because see, once you done study your lessons, man, and you done practice how to use your supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet to break everything down to what it really is and how you can and should use it, then it don't matter. But if you're so smart that you can read all these 500 books you asking me for, why you can't study these 8 lessons? If you want to read War and Peace 10 times before you just study the lessons, right? You know, the amount of time that you spend telling a person why you don't know the lesson, you could have just said the lesson. The amount of mental energy that it takes for you to say this excuse to every single person that you run into is less mental energy than it takes to learn and maintain 120 lessons. So just a little bit on why that's important. Jason Rosario said, right now, I've been watching Prime Minister Modi of India traveling the world. He was just here in the US last week, in Egypt this week. He's one of the main leaders at the UN. So now we think that's about because you know him and the Chinese, they got something going on. And you know, the Chinese, they be making some moves too. So yes. Yeah, look, the international stage has been a little bit wild. You know, the stuff going on in Russia and all that. But you know, we'll get back to that in a minute. Supreme Justice. When did Universal Sham? Ooh, better not let nobody from Medina see you spelling Sham God name like that. When did Universal Sham God write that manifestation on the flag? That's a good question. I mean, I know it wasn't in the very beginning because the older brothers, you know, they pretty much like, look, we got the law told us what the flag means, and that's that. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the date on that, but I can find that out. That's not a hard one. Actually, he's not here today, but he should be here tomorrow. I can find that one out for you. Make sure you put that in the regular comments after the video is over, so I can keep that in mind. Born Howard said, and it was a different feeling and a big accomplishment. It's different than just reading it. When you cap it, I recite it up to knowledge God and knowledge understanding. So you up to the knowledge God degree in the 136. I mean, yeah, it is, something, at least, and then plus you gotta remember I'm a little bit younger. I'm a lot younger, you know what I'm saying, than y'all when I'm getting it. So yeah, it's showing you that your brain can work like a muscle. You know what I'm saying? Where the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You see what I'm saying? And I recall, really for me, it was probably the culture degree. And then 1 to 14 was probably the first time I had that feeling that you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I can recall, when I got to the culture degree, I was like, damn, this is, and back at that time, we were on a degree a day. So as the coaching degree is coming, I'm like, man, this is gonna be, but got that one on cap, you know what I'm saying? And then I remember like, now I got a little more confidence when I get to the born degree. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like the Build or Destroy degree, it was kind of like regular. Like to where when I finished the Build or Destroy degree, I wasn't worried about the wisdom build degree at all. Like I eat these up. You know what I'm saying? It was just like with anything. You know what I'm saying? When the steps that you're taking to rise, when when you start seeing the evidence of that yourself. You know what I'm saying? But all of that, like I said, that's a part of the cipher. You see what I mean? A lot of things that people be saying that was bad, now it's good. You see what I'm saying? Because the cipher, that's where you went to recite it like that. You see what I mean? When or when you you recite it, but then now it's now you gotta manifest. And you start seeing, that the ease at which you flow from the wisdom. You see what I'm saying? But see, in the cipher, you got to start the flow. See, the way how, it was taught to me, you know what I'm saying, from the masters, is you just start speaking on what you know. And before you know it, you'll be speaking on things that you didn't know you knew. But see, decipher that, public speaking, development of all of that. That's why when you see brothers speaking, you know what I'm saying, whether you come to the rallies or you see them on the videos and you see brothers speak, that's because we grew up like that. Brought it out of you. You see what I mean? Because we're supposed to be leaders in our community. So you gotta know how to build with the people. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of basic training. It's a military training of men and boys. Sky Chaser B said, it's easy if you're honest with yourself and study habits. Very good point. Very good point. You know, shout out to all the people that's been renewing their history for years. The president said, look, they renewing their history, right? How long are you renewing your history, right? It's simply like, first of all, renewing your history, did you ever know 120? Because how are you renewing it? Because, re means to do again, just in case. So did you ever know your lessons, first of all? Right, big question. The second of all, okay, if you knew it, how long it took you to know it? How long it took you to learn it? Because if you learned it in one amount of time and you've been some people have been renewing their history for decades. Yeah, see, you just bullshitting yourself. And you think you're bullshitting me, but you're not really renewing your history. Because see, listen, when you ask somebody that, when you ask them like, all right, you're renewing your history, right? Okay, so what degrees you know now? Oh yeah, nah, I don't know, I'm renewing. Nigga, you're not renewing your history. Because if you was renewing it, what you gonna do? You're gonna start from the knowledge degree and say who's the original man, then you're gonna go through that. You say, you know what? I still know my 1 to 10. Then you start for my name is David. Say, oh, okay. So yeah, when I get in the 20s, I'm on 136. So boom, this is the degrees that I know that I can quote right now. If you ain't got that, bro, you're not really renewing your history. Look, man, most things is like riding a bike. If you knew 120 lessons, man, it's not going to take you 50 years to learn it back, man. Like, listen, unfortunately, I know brothers that because of, traumatic, trauma, head injuries, had to relearn 120. And they got it faster than so many people talking about they renewing the history. Like with most people, just bullshitting yourself. Yeah, Abdur Rahman. Abdur Rahman, do you say your prayers? BET just had their awards this past weekend, which paid tribute to many hip hop artists for the 50th anniversary. For the 50th anniversary, Tyler Perry is supposedly now the new owner of the entire BET network. Wow. I haven't been a big follower of Tyler Perry over the years. I don't know what it is that he does. You know, uh, but I guess shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? BT. Uh see, once you get into that entertainment, see, for me, I never took my heroes from, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, yo, there's no black people in this program. Like I used to watch shows like F Troop. I don't really know black people never being on there, but it didn't, I wasn't expecting to see black people there. Black people was in the places where I expected them to be doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? But, to the what do you call them? The black excellence people, I guess, y'all can pour a little champagne. Wait a minute, what is this here? He said he told me to identify those men in the knowledge degree, and when I counted with 10, the answer came to me, and I started laughing and was like, "Yo, they Islam." Okay, who's he, and which the men in the knowledge degree? You gotta realize, y'all got new parlance and all of that. That I'm not hip. I don't know all the men in the knowledge degree. Yeah, what was it? It was something I kept seeing, and it was just talking about the degree, but the way they was writing it, I didn't know what that meant for years. I had no idea. But you gotta hit me to the new lingo. ASCAP created some new award for the best producer of all time and made a celebration in honoring Dr. Dre, where they gave him an award and recognized him. So he's the best producer of all time. Freedom Allah. When you renew your history, you actually start living out some things in real time. The more lessons you cap, the more your understanding. Now, see, let me clarify. None of that shit is renewing your history. Well, I'm not cursing at you, but let's be clear here. Renewing your history is when you learn something from what you just went through. It's got nothing to do with studying it. You're repeating your history when you do that. You already learned it. You ain't learning nothing new. See, renewing the history means, okay, I went through that, and you know what I'm saying? You know what? That could have came out better. Some things. Like, see, this renewing your history. See, we did the Sean Prove. Everything didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So, see, next year, when I keep that in mind and do it better, I'm renewing my history. But see, if I do the same shit I did last year, irrespective of any lessons that was learned before, then no, that is not renewing history. See, if you're renewing your history with the lessons, you're teaching it. Keeping it 100, that's how I renew my history in terms of what people that's bullshit and say. I'm saying that's how I stay on point. Is because you gotta talk about it when you're teaching it. If anybody sitting there telling you, that now, if you studying it, right? Because check this out, there's reading it, there's quoting it and all of that, right? But then you got, okay, if you're going through it to draw more understanding out of it. See, when you and the brother is, y'all building, going back and forth, and y'all learning things from what y'all saying, right? That's renewing. Step soul piece, but just people straying into whatever they strayed into, right? You strayed into whatever you strayed into. Stop dealing with your lessons. And now you being lazy and don't want to study in them. And you found this little phrase right here, renewing your history. But I'm saying, be clear on what the knowledge degree is saying. That's not what it says when it says the original man renews his history every 25,000 years. It's not saying that he forgot what happened in the last 25,000 years. But I digress. But yeah, don't get caught up, anybody that's new, don't get caught up on the renewing your history, renewing your history train. That's just study your lessons. Just study your lessons and come outside when you know. Sharon Love said, when I am not in my lessons, I study my Bill of Rights. All right, now, this is a question. You Moorish? Peace to the Moorish, brother. It's not an attack. I'm just asking. Sometimes when people say stuff like that. Not for nothing. I'm just, I hate to nitpick, but I'm funny that way. See, when you say this right here, right? When I am not in my lessons, I study my Bill of Rights. See, especially you gotta remember, because we was kids, right? To learn to be on point, we paid attention, to everything that was said, everything that wasn't said, every movement that was made. So see, when you say, when I am not in my lessons, see, the first degree is who's the original man. So I can never not be in my lesson. That's the difference between my lessons in the Bible and see, this is some other Middle Eastern people. So that's what I'm saying. There's no, you know, if if I'm reading the Bill of Rights, I'm reading it through the glasses of supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, in the principles of right and wrong that and the result of that I learned from 120 lessons. District 120 said I just posted that the other day on my Facebook about how I'm really seeing why study your lessons is emphasized. Indeed. You know, the first time through, you're going to see it. A lot of what you see is on the face value. Over time, you start seeing things like, look, I start seeing things, I see things in there, I'll be like, oh shit, that's in there the whole time. But the lessons is definitely something you gotta look. You gotta keep looking at it. You gotta keep looking at it again. You see, I'm gonna tell you the thing with 120 lessons in mathematics, right? This is look, even if you think you're the smartest person in the world, let me go ahead and give you credit. If I had my equipment here, I give you your flowers. Everybody, now I got a screen where I give flowers. Let's say you're smarter than me. The simple fact of the matter is you're going to keep living life. And as you keep living life and you keep having experiences, right? How you see things is going to develop, right? And what it is, like, you might go in the kitchen and you see a little appliance, but you don't know what it is. You just, whatever, it looks as a box. You walk in and walk out. But then eventually somebody shows you what it is. And now this is your new favorite gadget in the kitchen. See the same thing happen. You're not gonna be, when you get an earth, that's gonna develop how you build on your mathematics. You start having babies, that's gonna develop how you build on mathematics and things that you see when you deal with 120. You know, the meaning of CAPTAIN and LIEUTENANT, right? That's one of the ones that, let's hope that's happening, that people is dealing with growth and development. So that's why you got to keep studying your lessons. So let me ask you, Sir Love, when you study the Bill of Rights, right? What is it, you know, like what are some of the things that we should know? What are some of the things that we should know from the Bill of Rights there? Got a lot of new people in here. That's everybody put put what degrees you know in the comment box right here. See where everybody at. Which today we dealing with the basics. But we don't need to talk over people's head. You said unenumerated rights. Jason Rosario TV asked if you were in uh, law school. So the Bill of Rights tells you about unenumerated rights. I mean, see, here's the thing. And just I'm not sure why but I'm just saying, you brought this up in this because we all do different stuff. We don't bring it up necessarily when we're dealing with this topic. Uh, you see, look, sometimes we just use examples. See, with abortion, he made one law, then he changed it back. So I don't know if this is, you know, uh, in terms of, you're saying that in terms of, the study of that has the power to save us somehow. Yeah, enumerate the bar. I put the definition there of enumerate in the comment box. If anybody wants to check that out. Steph Soul, can you see renewing your history and build or destroy going hand in hand? Meaning, can that be a way to renew your history? Okay, you gotta, you know, see, I keep telling you, see, I got the knowledge as a child. So sometimes when you ask your question, you gotta break it down for me. Like when you said renew your history and build or destroy going hand in hand, like how you mean? Yeah, see, you know what's funny here? You know what's funny here? Only the people that know 120 is putting what degrees they know in the box here. Look, I'm watching. See, a lot of people think I lose track of things, but I'm watching. How come only the people that know 120? See, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't do that. You can't do that. How you gonna go from that? Like, bro, we already on the internet. I'm already the only person whose face is showing it. You already got a fake name. You know what I'm saying? And you still hide it. Come on, man. Listen, look, you know we come to your house, right? No, I'm just what's going on, fellas? That's a good question, District 120. You know, uh, just in terms of the journey of Islam to America in general, and to the black man in specific, uh, I mean, at this point right now, we talking about, over 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know if we'll ever have, concrete knowledge, you know, like we know what Drew Ali tells us, we know what Elijah tells us, but uh, it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? Most of our existence over here is like that. You said, I can't go past our born power. Said, I can't go past knowledge cipher in the knowledge understanding quality. Okay. Let's build on ability destroy degree in the 1 in 10. Uh, how much useful land is used by a colored man? Answer: the colored man uses 6 billion square miles. Where's the person that asked the question about, oh, stuff? So, yeah, what I'm saying is, can you apply, build, or destroy to renew your history? I mean, yeah, you asking me how I would apply it. How I would apply it, I would say, you know, when I'm renewing my history, right, I'm going to build on those things that came out right, and I'm going to destroy those things that, held me back. You know what I'm saying? Rather they came from me or rather they were some outside thing that I can, control, right? That's the science of renewing history. You know what I mean? But that's one way that I'm drawing up right now. You know what I mean? I don't understand all the way what you're saying, but just in terms of, that's renewing history. You know what I'm saying? Is that we build on the positives and destroy the negatives. Certain love, certain knowledge, 120, but my thing is freedom of mind over matter. Okay, what exactly is that? Freedom of mind over matter. You gotta remember, see, I got the knowledge before the new age thing was So see, now y'all talk about Buddhism and all this kind of stuff. Not that we didn't know, of course it tells you in the lessons about Buddhism, but just in terms of mixing this stuff in with the 5%, I don't, but yeah, what is that? You said your thing is freedom of mind, peace over matter. Jason Rosario TV said, I have to study my 120 lessons in full to memorize them and master them. I know who the original man is. I know my supreme mathematics. Well, for me, that's always the most important one. First of all, because it's knowledge. And see, we can't get to nothing else unless we start at knowledge. So, and also, see, us being the far above everything in existence, right? Whatever else, we get that back. But see, if we lose this, if we lose who we are, yeah, everything's lost. So District 120 said he got it from a colored man. So do we have a name on this colored man? Levi Dowling wrote or drew up the Aquarian Gospel back in 1904 and supposedly pulled it from the Book of God's Remembrance, Akashic Records. Well, look, there is things in the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ, right? But there's other histories that exist. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the uh Ahmadiyya movement. Uh, you also got the Mufti of Islam out in California who's talking about Islam in the 1890s. So that's what I'm saying. For every person that comes up and says this, see, for me, it doesn't matter because I'm not religious. You see what I mean? And so whatever's going, this person don't have to be a saint or whatever, what matters is what I can show and prove right now. You understand what I mean? If they drop some knowledge on me, right, that say, okay, we can use this right now, then we can use it. Steph Soul is on the 140, the knowledge born degree. Yeah, Nobuju Ali, I think it's 1913. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know a lot of the histories of other nations. But yeah, that's strange. So I'm gonna you know, what should we do here? What should we do? Should we assume that all these people know 120, or should we assume that they don't know no lessons? What direction are we going to go here? Because if everybody know 120, everybody's on point, then we just have family time. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one. Well, so we had one brother speak up and say he's on word 36. Wait till I find out where y'all live at. You know, I seen another topic come up. I seen another topic come up uh, dealing with supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet. Uh, you know, see, we're governed by law, and that establishes order, right? And so when you look at the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet, right, you see that it's not in the same order, right? You got wisdom is in the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet, but it's not in the same order. You got power is in the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet, but it's not in the same order. Equality is in both, but it's not in the same order. Now, God is in supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, but it is in the same order. They both come in the same order in their respective ciphers. Then you got born is in supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, but it's not in the same order. Cipher is in supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, not in the same order. And so you have to be, you gotta know what you're doing when you're speaking on supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet. It's not just a what for what transition. See, if I say, you know, you owe me cipher dollars in the supreme alphabet, and you give me cipher dollars in the supreme mathematics, it's not the same thing. That being said, and this is maybe I was perceiving, maybe my perception was off, but it seemed like that was being taken to another degree of saying that supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet is totally unrelated. See, now we don't have the same knowledge. Because see, anything that's not based on supreme mathematics is an illusion and a delusion. It don't exist. If something is in order, right? If I'm in New York and you in California, you in Detroit and you in Houston, and we all got the same supreme alphabet, and it's in the same order, that can only be the case if it goes according to law. And the supreme law that governs the universe is supreme mathematics. See, sometimes we get into repeating, right? And don't understand what we really saying. If you say that anything is totally unrelated to supreme mathematics. And see, arm, leg, leg, arm, supreme head. That's power. That's the only power I know about anybody having. If you got some other magic that you do, let me know. Put it in the comment box right there. I take a shower every day, mentally and physically. I said what I said. You go tell who you want to tell, because I don't have a Lord and Master. You just make sure when you tell whoever you tell, right, have your own science when you come to show and prove. Don't repeat. Don't come over here on repeat. So there's that. The boss said a wise man's equality is to show and prove in the proper way and form according to his foundation, showing he is wise in the way he makes his knowledge measure up, useful and equal. Indeed. West Coast Wise. Yeah, we've been on for a little minute. We've actually, we've been going, trying to smoke out these new cats here. We asked a question a while ago. We had a question on the table for some time now. What degrees does everybody know? And so far, we only got the people that know 120. How many people that know 120 is put anything in here? See, listen, you can't do this, man. Like, I'm just telling you, look, how I got to where I'm at, part of it is because brothers ain't let me do that. Like, if you don't say nothing, right, then I don't know you don't know. See, if you stand there and then we talking, you act like you know 120, we don't know that you don't know. Like when I look, brothers just say, listen, even don't worry about being wrong. Because if you say something wrong, then I can say, okay, I know why, you know what I'm saying? There's something at the root of this wrong statement that you made, right? There's some misinformation that you have, and I can correct that for you. But if you just go around repeating what you heard other people say, right? So you never really develop your own understanding, and deep down in the recesses of your mind, you have these wrong concepts. See, what happens is if your supreme mathematics is off, right, then what happens when you start to build? See, what happens when you got to deal with algebra? What happens when you got to deal with physics and trigonometry and geometry and calculus and all these things if you can't count? So you can hide in the back if you want. But see, I tell you, I got the knowledge. I'm good. Well, it was a couple of questions, but we saw that we had a couple of new people in the room today. So I asked everybody what degrees they knowledge. But the channel's gotten more Masonic. Where it's not the same amount of participation that we once had. Oh yeah, that's how it started. That's how it started. Was I was explaining how renewing my history is I don't know where that came from, but it's a bullshit phrase that once you start to and just telling the younger brothers not to get caught up in that, renewing your history, not to be searching for trillions of years for another book that's the equivalent of 120 lessons. So you got a lot of people, like I said, you hear these stories or whatever. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I got the easy way. See, the easy way is with the trials and tribulations. I guess that's one of them things where you could just say is counterintuitive. But the brother was talking about that at the rally, and I've spoken about that before on here. Is that it was difficult to get the knowledge, man. Like when you went and you was like, I think I want to get the knowledge. You think you want to get the knowledge? All right, well, come back and let us know when you know. It went back to their conversation. He'll say, "Now I'm saying I know I want to get the knowledge. Word, why you want the knowledge? I'm saying I want to learn about the black man. Yeah, well, how you know we know about the black man? You know what I'm saying? Brothers, man, I'm trying to learn the truth. So you know what we deal with? No, I don't know. So how you know it's the truth? That was different brothers that I'd seen come to get the knowledge And that's the way that's different. That's all not me. I'm just saying those different experiences of seeing people come to get the knowledge. And then when you got it, look, write this down. I see you tomorrow. And that was just, I got the math. That's it. Now, see, some of y'all thinking, yeah, man, that was harsh, man. You was just a kid. They was putting you through that, bro. That was so much easier than this shit where you jump on the internet, pick a fucking name, and then download 120. you might think that's easier, but look where it got you. I got it the easy way. I went by the blueprint that was already laid down. But this is not, look, this is not the nursing home, B. It told you this is military training, man. This ain't the regular army, B. This ain't the regular Marines. This is special forces, man. So yeah, you gonna get tested. If you just a grunt, you just could put a uniform on and we can send you out there to get shot. If that's what you want to do, go someplace else. Look, you might love us, we might love you, but you ain't ready for what it is we got to do. You haven't prepared yourself, not for me to like you, but for what has to be done out there. Oh, you notice a little bit less involvement on your channel too. But it's not the pandemic no more. You know what I'm saying? It's things is moving on. And we gotta move on with it. King Math, please don't take my inactivity in the chat as not participating. I'm still doing the knowledge on 120. I don't want to add on to a cipher that's about a topic I don't have mastered all the way yet. Peace. Well, we dealing with uh, math and alphabet, and just in terms of with degrees, But I get your point with that. You applying the mathematics. If you don't have knowledge, then don't wisdom. But see, here's the thing. I tell you, like, Kaheem, look, baby, we need you, baby. It's only a handful of us, man. So we need all of us, man. That's us, man, to be out here, man. In order for something to happen when us to come together, everybody gotta be getting busy on something. Everybody gotta be doing something. Whether you pulling in the babies, whether you producing the resources, whatever it is. I don't know, was I speaking about that on the last live? that's a change that I noticed from the brothers that was around and sisters from the 1860s to the 1960s is that whatever problem existed, they was producing solutions inside the community. You know what I'm saying? Meaning so that the last, major examples of what I'm talking about is like the pancakes, where it's like, okay, these kids is not these kids is not, they not eating breakfast. They hungry at school. We're not gonna go march in front of the school. We're gonna, handle whatever we gotta handle to get them breakfast in the morning. Our own self. See what I'm saying? And the only way they was able to do that is the people who got to come together, the people that got the ability to do something, got to come together. You can't be hiding over there in the corner. You see what I'm saying? And then come out to party with us. Not saying that's what you're doing, but public service announcement there. Who gave it to who in Compton, California? Well, from what I understand, I could be mistaken, but Compton, I don't know if Compton is actually Los Angeles or it's some, the way they counties is out there is different. Really, the way New York is different, where it's one city in 5 counties. Other cities, I notice is, it's just different. Like just some things, like Detroit is like that. Where you got 2 different counties. Wayne, I think is Wayne and Hamtramck, but it's always a little bit difficult for me to understand in terms of how they situated different towns like that. But Born in Law was the first one that had the knowledge of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you speak to the brothers in Los Angeles, if all that is covered. But Born in Law was the first brother in Los Angeles. Says sword a lot. Oh, you talking to Supreme Justice. You see, Night Owl apparently Night Owl is apparently from Los Angeles. You see, so he's given us the correct. He said we are one county in Los Angeles, but LA is not Compton. So yeah, that's But she out here, I guess maybe because of NWA, Compton might be the first thing that we think of. Compton might be the first thing that we think of when we hear about Los Angeles, but because of hip hop. Yeah, right. See, Night Owl said it's 88 cities in Los Angeles. So that's what I'm saying. New York is not like that. It's one city. We got, yeah, probably 88 neighborhoods in every borough, but yeah, just the way other places are situated, where it's like 4 and 5 different police departments and all of that. In New York is they got to simplify. Our born power said, "Who brought the knowledge to victory a lot?" Yeah, see some of these things.
He should have sure let. I don't know, but for sure let a piece of that game.
This is it. This is my class right here. Yeah, I just broadcast. Yeah, so I had to fire them up. Yeah, yeah. It's funny not out because I was just talking. I don't know if you was on the other night. You keep getting this thing now with people saying and it's funny because nobody that was around at that time says that, but you start getting these people saying now that hip hop came from Brooklyn. That they was doing hip hop in Brooklyn, and and this is what makes it ridiculous to even think that, right? Is that in every city, right, where there's black people that I know of, there's a part in that city where you cannot shut the people from over there up about their city. That listen, just like it's true, listen, Compton, you know what I'm saying? Look, I don't know which one, but South Side or West Side, Chicago, every city got that part where it's like, yeah, dudes from over there. You know what I'm saying? The same way, as soon as dudes from Compton make records, what they make? Straight out of Compton. Do you really think if hip hop came out of Brooklyn, that the very first rhyme would not have rhymed with Brooklyn? Do you really think that? Do you really think that would have started in Brooklyn? Is nobody from Brooklyn would have said that for 50 years? Yo, G, this just said like, dude, if hip hop started in Compton, we would know it. Hey, bro, please stop. Please stop. But not for nothing. That's why just the other day I was thinking about Compton. Hmm. Night I said LA was where is the West Side to me. They was never in Compton, but Compton guys got knowledge from Mars 54. Hmm. Yeah, see, you got Steph Soul, South Side Chicago. That's what I'm saying. Look, every town with black people, You got that far in the town, geez. Well, listen, everybody else know when they show up, it's gonna be a long night. So I don't get it. I don't get it how this is not just seen as just the most ridiculous idea ever. But I digress. But that's interesting right there. You said the guys in Compton got the knowledge from Mars 54. I wonder how that worked out. RBX from Dogtown, his father was the minister? Wow, small world. Looking back, you know, uh, RBX probably did have a little uh you know, Snoop was kind of, you know, I'm sure he wouldn't characterize it like that, but he was kind of embodying ignorance, you know what I mean? Fuck peace and all of that. In RBX, he didn't come across like that. So looking back, Minister Shamar Muhammad. Wow. And so how did they end up how did they end up being with us coming from Mars 54? Like how did they get to supreme mathematics? Although I don't know if this is necessarily their story, but I have heard several people tell their stories, and it did start in the mosque. And just at some point, the minister told them that, listen, uh, you really need to go with them. Like, a couple of them told me, like, they felt kind of like, like, why are you sending me over there? I'm trying to come here. But he's like, nah, you need to be with them. Go find them, and they got you. But you got any idea how that ended up happening out there? Because I do know this brother. It was a brother that came out here in the early 90s. This was like, This was like 92, 93, right? And he was from Compton. He was from Piru Street. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the first people that, he broke all of that stuff down that they got on the internet now. He was talking about that then. And he had come in tune with some guys in the penitentiary out there. And when he got out the penitentiary, he got his money, his $100. I don't know how much they give you in California, but the money that they give you, he got a bus ticket and came out here. So he says, yo, all he knows is he's looking for, the 5%, Islam, but he doesn't really know. He just got this, he's been studying with some brothers over there in the penitentiary, right? So he's like, yo, he comes out here and he's asking around everybody, yo, where do I find Islam at, right? And they sent him to the mosque over on 127th Street in 6th Avenue. So he's like, when he gets over there, he sees the Muslims standing, they at they post right there in the front. But he's like, yo, he's seeing like they demeanor and the way they dressed and everything, and just the way everything looks. And he's like, yo, this don't look like the brothers. Like, this don't look, I don't know. He was like, he was a little bit thrown off. So he goes around the corner to get a cigarette. He's like, yo, try to figure out, like, damn, I'm gonna work this shit out now and shit, right? When he goes around the corner to smoke this cigarette, the store that he goes to is right across the street from the school. And he was like, yo, I didn't, like, nobody had to tell me nothing. He's like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, that's it right there. And he came in, and like I said, he had his papers and stuff written down, with some of it was our stuff, and then some of it, I don't know where he got it from. You know what I'm saying? But he knew the black man's God, and he knew this was the root of civilization. You know what I'm saying? And he came out here to learn, but exactly, like, he didn't know how those brothers got exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, he went from Piru Street to the penitentiary to out here. So I don't know if that is related. You know what I'm saying? But Born Allah, of course, was the first brother I knew, but he probably was like the second or third brother. You know what I'm saying? And he's from Compton. And I said, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this brother, he's from he's from Compton. But yeah, we got any questions? in here before we wrap this one up. So I got some business to attend tomorrow. That's business to attend tonight. Anyone? Bueller? Before we wind this one down, I got to get my what's name too. I keep saying it. We got to send our own alert out. Rakim's music also touched many people on a national and global level, starting in the 80s. Yeah, that definitely was a huge impact. Was that kind of pop culture carried us. Pop culture carried us out to the world too. But for me, that I mean, it's good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Because once it became, a pop culture thing, a commercial thing, then it becomes a pop culture thing and a commercial thing, and that's necessarily watered down. You know what I'm saying? Who brought the knowledge to Victory Allah? Quick history. See, Victory Allah is going to be one of those funny places that I got to ask you what you mean, right? Because Victory Allah is going to be one of those places where, first of all, in New York City, we from South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. So you're going to have 5% going back to see their family, maybe from the earliest days. You know what I'm saying? You know, keeping it 100, you know what I'm saying? During the 80s, you're going to get brothers coming in that whole DMV area. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of times what it comes down to is, with who planted the seeds really, right? That blossomed into the fruit that you see out there now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the first brother that went there and had the knowledge, right, is not the reason a cipher grew in that place. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you, you know, brothers that's been prolific, you know what I'm saying? Uh, like out there in Richmond, you got Gold Mine, you know what I'm saying? Over there on that other side, like where Supreme Justice is from, I don't know how to pronounce that. You know what I'm saying? But also in Virginia, you got Newport News. So you're gonna have brothers going into the military that's coming down there with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You know, It's but if I was gonna start Outborn Power, I would get in touch with Supreme Justice right now. You know what I'm saying? And he'll have much more knowledge on that than me. But I can just tell you that, Virginia is a place where, trust me, there'll be some dispute or you know what I'm saying? Symmetry 7. I don't know about any rallies in Pelon. I don't know. GD, yeah, I'm gonna be back on tomorrow. So you said, what is playing with steel nowadays? Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet versus 120 lessons. Playing with steel nowadays is coming on this channel and not knowing your lessons. Langley, Virginia also got a big military population. Yeah, but is it basic training? Because I'm saying, like, even hip hop, that's one of the ways. That's one of the ways that hip hop started going places. Is that you have brothers going to? That's another thing. Virginia got a lot of HBCUs, so you got brothers that's going to college that's bringing the knowledge with them. You know what I'm saying? But you got some people that's like, okay, we might come to college, right? And I might teach some people here, but then none of them might be from here. So yeah, we had a cipher there, but then everybody went back to their respective states or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, yeah, Supreme Justice is definitely no better than me. Okay, yeah. So if it's training, then yeah, you're gonna have, a lot of brothers that went into the military, and that's a whole cipher in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the brother in Washington now. You know what I'm saying? But when he was in the military, he did a lot of teaching. You know what I'm saying? And the people that he taught did a lot of teaching. All right, I'm gonna check that out in a few, Supreme. Just when I jump off of here, I'm about to trip back to the rest real quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I guess we did the thing. I guess if anybody need more questions. Somebody asked me, who was it? Oh yeah, the question about the manifestation flag. Make sure you put that in the comment box to remind me. We're gonna get to that tomorrow. Any other topics that uh you might think of to cover, put it in the comments of the video, the regular comments, not this chat stuff. And we'll get to that. In the meantime, in between time, you made it this far. Do the each one, teach one, hit the like button, share this out on your other pages. And hold on. We got one last GD. So how you see in the 130, how you see the knowledge being in 136? I asked because it sounded like you said the true and living God can't say EWF Muhammad in that Born Mastermind video. I might have heard wrong. No, you hit the word on the head where you said how you see it. See, when he said his name is WF Muhammad, right? Yaqub made the devil. You know, Musa split the thought. You know, when we study in the lessons, we know that that is the history. But what do we internalize as being our own self? Right? Like, see, you look at the 140, you got the 14th degree, the 15th degree, and the 16th degree. What do you internalize as being your own self? So see, when I draw it up, my name is not WF Muhammad. WF Muhammad is a man who was born in 1877, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? We know what his history is, Elijah's teacher, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But see, only if I'm a parrot, if somebody asks me, would I say my name is WF Muhammad? You see what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be drawing up lessons out of it, not worshiping it. So in all those different things, you know, this is the difference between the mindset that we have, right? See, that's what I'm saying. When I go into these degrees, right, with my mindset of knowing who I am, I know who to identify with. You see, when I was in Christianity, the preacher told us to identify with the slaves and the people who is always downtrodden. You know, you're supposed to be struggling here, and then in heaven you're supposed to get something. But see, if I read the Bible now, right, I'm not the Jews, I'm not the Gentiles, I'm not the Christians, I'm not the saint, I'm God. I'm not the smitey, I'm the smiter. I don't need no 10 commandments. I got 10 principles in supreme mathematics. So see, we have to draw these things up and see what they mean and have understanding. So that's why when, you know, if a person just tells me, right, that it says something in the lessons, did you parakeet that? Or do we draw it up? Yaqub was successful in what he was doing. There's some things that we can learn from his success. The way he dealt with his people with focus and discipline. Not in terms of what he did to the people, but how they was focused on what their end goal was. See, those are things you can apply in your life. But see, other things, like dealing with the unlike and killing the black baby, we would not want to internalize that. is something that might be useful to us, right? The signs he dealt with subtraction and division, right? We do not want to deal with that. We want to deal with addition and multiplication. But if you just go through just quoting it, right, and never drawing it up, you're not going to see that. So, are you clear now on what I meant by that? No, I'm talking to the brother GD. Our boy William Brother. What was that? All right, well, yeah, if you need a little more clarity, you're right. Just be on tomorrow. I see what I got to do, man. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I got to get my alerts, do my own alerts. They're like, how you usually see brothers manifest that degree in cipher. I know they're just quoting it. I know no one really says that that's their name. I mean, I can't recall. There was something that was in response to something that he said. Just in terms of, if something is in there, it still has to be drawn up. If I say something on this channel, it still has to be drawn up, G, for your own self. So you don't have to be religious. So when somebody who may not be as quick as you in understanding what I said, right, and they don't understand it, you can explain it to them. Instead of you telling them, well, look, you got to tune into the videos. And then if I'm not doing videos right then it's like, yo, see, now you're bullshitting people like Paul. See, because the people don't see that other person that you talk about. This shit is fake. You can show them the video. The people see you and they see what you're doing and they see what you're not doing. So you is the one who has to show and prove. Peace Supreme. As a child, Yaku was playing with two pieces of metal when he realized that like and unlike attract. I'm not sure if that's correct word for word, but that's what I remember at the moment. He discovered that one piece had magnetic in it and the other piece did not. Then he discovered that the piece with the magnetic in it attracted the piece without. Uh, you know, not for nothing, but to go even back then, right? You said what is the piece of steel today, right? Now, see, that was a little bit, but see, I'm the piece of steel with the magnetic. Because see, when you come on here and you know your lessons, you the piece of steel without the magnet. See, if you come on here and you know your lessons, then we one in the same piece of steel. Because see, if we take it even all the way back to that time, right? The piece of steel is man and woman. You see, every time you go on Instagram and you click like on those big booty pics, and the broad never responds back to you ever, that's a two pieces steel. It might as well be 8,000. It might as well be 8,375. 8,373 because you're playing with the same piece of steel. But I digress. We'll save that. We'll save that until we got Shakanulu here. On the screen. I see. We can tell it's definitely time to go now. He said, my thing is drawing it up, like the knowledge degree and the knowledge understanding quality. I see myself having this conversation, looking in the mirror. You said that was, yeah, you understand. Yeah, at any rate, we've done a thing for the day. Like I said, do each one, teach one. Hit the like button, share it out on your other pages. You know what I'm saying? And we sign off. I catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.